Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to English Mastery Hub. I'm Logan, and I'm so happy to be with you today. I hope you're doing well and ready for another exciting lesson. Today, I want to share a special plan with you, how you can start speaking English in just 3 months. If you're learning English now, I want you to know that it's possible to make great progress in a short time. In this lesson, I will show you the daily steps to follow, the challenges you might face, and how you can stay motivated every day. Most importantly, I will explain why practicing a little every day is the secret to speaking English fast. So, if you want to improve your English and build confidence, stay with me until the end. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to English Mastery Hub so you never miss a lesson. Ready? Let's get started. I still remember the first time I decided to speak English well. It was a big challenge for me, but I made a big goal. I wanted to be able to have real conversations in English in just 3 months. At first, it sounded crazy to think I could do it, but I was excited. I knew that to reach my goal, I needed a clear plan, and that's when I started thinking about how to make it happen. I began by making a small daily plan. I wanted to keep it simple and easy so I wouldn't feel overwhelmed. Every morning, I would listen to English for at least 30 minutes. Listening was important because it helped me get used to the sounds and rhythm of the language. I didn't focus on understanding every single word. Instead, I tried to catch the meaning of the sentences and the flow of conversation. Over time, I began to understand more and more, and that gave me confidence. After listening, I would take 15 minutes to speak to myself in English. I know it sounds strange, but speaking to yourself can be really helpful. During these 15 minutes, I would talk about simple things like my day, my plans, or even my breakfast. For example, I might say, "Today, I am going to the store," or "I had eggs for breakfast." These small talks really helped me get used to forming sentences and speaking out loud. Even though I was alone, I felt like I was practicing real conversations. This made me more comfortable and confident when it was time to speak with other people. I also kept a list of new words I learned every day. Whenever I came across a word I didn't know, I would write it down and try to remember it. Then, I would use that word in my speaking practice. For example, if I learned the word delicious, I would say, "My breakfast was delicious," or "The food at the restaurant was delicious." By using the new words I learned, I started to make them part of my vocabulary, and that helped me speak more naturally. I didn't try to be perfect right away. I knew that mistakes were part of learning, and I was okay with that. Every mistake was a chance to learn and improve. At first, I made a lot of mistakes, but that was fine. The important thing was that I was practicing every day, and with each day I felt more confident and my speaking ability improved. I also tried to practice with other people whenever I could. If I had the chance to speak with someone in English, I took it. Sometimes I would join English groups online or talk to friends who were also learning. Even if my English wasn't perfect, I learned a lot from those conversations. I realized that it was okay to make mistakes as long as I kept trying. The more I spoke, the better I became. Little by little, I began to notice that I was thinking in English more often. At first, I would translate everything from my native language, but after a while I started to think directly in English. This was a big step for me. It meant that English was becoming a natural part of my daily life. So, here is the plan that helped me speak English faster. Listen to English for 30 minutes every day. You can listen to podcasts, watch TV shows, or even listen to songs in English. The key is to expose yourself to the language as much as possible. Don't worry about understanding everything. Just listen and get used to the sounds. Speak to yourself in English for 15 minutes each day. This will help you get comfortable with speaking. Talk about simple things like your plans, your day, or your favorite food. The more you speak, the better you will become. Learn new words every day. Write down the words you don't know and try to use them in your speaking practice. The more words you know, the easier it will be to speak in English. Make mistakes and learn from them. Don't worry if you make mistakes. They are part of the learning process. The more you practice, the fewer mistakes you will make. Practice with others when you can. Speaking with other people is one of the best ways to improve. Join online English groups or talk to friends who are also learning. Think in English. Try to stop translating from your native language. Think directly in English. This will help you become more fluent. At first, it felt like I was building a small house, brick by brick. Every day I was adding new words, new sentences, and new skills. Over time, my house grew bigger, and my English became stronger. The key was consistency. I practiced every day, even when it felt difficult. And after 3 months, I was able to speak English much more easily. It wasn't perfect, but it was good enough to have real conversations. So, I want to tell you, don't give up. You can do this too. If I can do it, so can you. Start small, practice every day, and be patient with yourself. English is not something that happens overnight. It takes time and effort, but with the right plan, you will get there. Remember, every little bit of practice counts. Just like building a house, every word, every sentence, and every conversation you have adds up. Soon, you will be amazed at how far you have come. Keep going, and you will speak English fluently before you know it. Practicing every day sounds easy, but it wasn't always simple. Some days I felt tired or busy, and sometimes I didn't feel like practicing at all. It was hard to stay motivated, especially when I didn't see progress right away. There were times when I didn't want to speak because I was afraid of making mistakes. I worried that I would say something wrong, and people might laugh at me or not understand me. But I knew that if I wanted to improve, I had to push through these feelings and keep going. One of my biggest struggles was understanding fast English. When I listened to podcasts or watched movies, native speakers talked so quickly. The words seemed to fly by, and I missed many of them. It was frustrating because I wanted to understand everything, but I couldn't keep up with the speed. It made me feel like I was falling behind. Sometimes, I felt like I would never be able to understand fast English, and that made me want to give up. But I remembered something important. Learning a language is like learning to ride a bike. When you first start learning to ride a bike, you fall many times. You might get scared, and it can feel like you'll never get it. But if you keep trying, you eventually learn to ride smoothly. The same thing happens when learning English. At first, it's hard, and you might make a lot of mistakes. But if you keep practicing, you will get better and better. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Even though it was difficult, I promised myself to practice a little every day. Some days I only had 5 minutes to practice, but I did it anyway. I realized that even 5 minutes was better than 0 minutes. Those small moments of practice added up over time, and before I knew it, I was improving. I didn't need to spend hours each day on English. Just a little bit of practice every day made a big difference. I also learned that it's okay to make mistakes. In fact, making mistakes is part of the learning process. When I spoke in English, I made many mistakes. Sometimes I couldn't find the right words, or I mixed up grammar. But instead of feeling bad about it, I used those mistakes as a way to learn. Every time I made a mistake, I tried to remember what went wrong and how I could do better next time. Slowly, I started to make fewer mistakes. Another challenge was staying consistent. Some days, I didn't feel like practicing, or I was too busy with other things. But I realized that if I didn't practice every day, I would forget what I had learned. It was like trying to remember how to ride a bike after not riding for a long time. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to keep riding without thinking about it. The same thing happens with English. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to remember words, sentences, and grammar. There were also days when I felt like I wasn't improving. I would practice every day, but I didn't notice any big changes. This is normal. Learning a language takes time. Sometimes progress is slow, and it can be hard to see how far you've come. But even on those days, I kept going. I told myself that every little bit of practice was helping me get closer to my goal. I also faced challenges with listening. I wanted to understand everything I heard in English, but sometimes it was difficult. Native speakers speak fast, and sometimes they use words I didn't know. But instead of giving up, I tried to focus on what I did understand. I would listen carefully, and when I didn't understand something, I would try to guess the meaning from the context. Over time, this helped me become better at listening and understanding fast English. I also learned that it's important to stay positive. It's easy to get frustrated when things aren't going well, but being positive made a big difference. I told myself that I could do it, and that even small progress was still progress. I kept reminding myself that learning English was a journey, not a race. It would take time, but I would get there if I kept practicing every day. So, what can you do to overcome these challenges? Here are a few tips that helped me. Practice every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Every little bit helps, and consistency is key. Don't skip your practice, even if you're busy. Be okay with making mistakes. Mistakes are normal and part of learning. Use them as opportunities to learn and grow. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. It's okay to miss some words or phrases. Focus on what you do understand and keep practicing. Stay positive and patient. Learning a language takes time. Celebrate your small successes and keep going, even when it feels difficult. Listen to English as much as you can. The more you listen, the better you'll become at understanding fast English. Start with slower speakers, then gradually listen to faster ones. Keep track of your progress. Sometimes it's hard to see how much you've improved. But if you keep track of what you're learning, you can look back and see how far you've come. Remember, the road to learning English is not always smooth, and there will be challenges along the way. But if you keep practicing and stay positive, you will improve. Even on the difficult days, remember that every small step counts. Keep pushing forward, and soon you'll see that English becomes easier and more natural. Don't be afraid of the challenges. Embrace them and know that every challenge is just another opportunity to get better. Keep going, and you'll reach your goal of speaking English fluently. One morning, after 2 months of practicing English every day, I had a wonderful experience. It was an experience that made me feel proud and excited. I joined an online English-speaking group, and I was ready to try speaking with others. I was a little nervous at first, but I reminded myself that this was a big opportunity for me to practice and improve. When my turn came, I started to speak. I didn't stop, and I didn't have to think in my native language first. I spoke directly in English for 10 minutes. It felt amazing. I was so surprised because just a few weeks ago, I would have struggled to speak for even 1 minute. But now I was able to talk for 10 minutes without worrying too much about making mistakes. At that moment, I realized something important. I realized that all the small daily practices I had been doing really worked. Every day I had been practicing listening to English, speaking, and learning new words. Even when it felt like nothing was happening, it was slowly building up. It was like planting a seed and watering it every day. At first, you don't see any changes, but over time, the seed grows into a small plant, and one day, it blooms beautifully. I felt so happy and proud of myself. It wasn't just about speaking for 10 minutes without stopping. It was about how far I had come. It was about how my daily practice had paid off. This breakthrough moment gave me the confidence to continue learning and practicing even more. The reason this moment was so special was that it showed me that learning English isn't just about studying grammar or memorizing vocabulary. It's about practice and consistency. When you practice every day, you start to see results. You might not notice the changes right away, but they are happening little by little. It's like building a house one brick at a time. You can't see the house at first, but after a while you have something strong and beautiful. After this breakthrough, I felt more motivated than ever. I wanted to practice even more. I wanted to speak more with others and keep improving. I started to join more speaking groups and chat with my friends in English. I even tried to speak English in everyday situations, like ordering food or asking for directions. At first, it felt strange, but the more I did it, the more comfortable I became. I also realized that the most important part of learning English is to not be afraid of making mistakes. Before, I would get nervous and worried about saying something wrong. But after speaking for 10 minutes without stopping, I learned that making mistakes is okay. Mistakes are part of learning. They help you grow and get better. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn. I stopped being afraid to speak because I knew that even if I made a mistake, it was just part of the process. This breakthrough moment taught me that speaking English is not about being perfect. It's about being brave and practicing every day. It's about taking small steps each day and trusting that over time you will get better. I realized that speaking English, like any other skill, takes time and effort. But with practice, it becomes easier and more natural. Looking back, I see that this moment was the turning point in my English learning journey. It was when everything clicked. I had been practicing every day, and now I was seeing the results. It wasn't just about understanding English better or learning new words. It was about feeling confident enough to speak with others and hold conversations without fear. That was a huge achievement for me. It also helped me understand something important. It's okay to take things slow. You don't have to speak perfectly right away. The goal is to keep going, even when it feels hard. The more you practice, the more confident you become. One day, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. You'll be able to speak English without thinking too much, just like I did in that online group. I also want to share something else with you. The best part of this breakthrough moment was how good it felt to communicate with others in English. Speaking in English made me feel more connected to people from different parts of the world. I could share my ideas, listen to other people, and learn from their experiences. It made me realize that speaking English is not just about the language itself. It's about connecting with others and learning about different cultures. This moment was not the end of my journey. It was just the beginning of a new chapter. I knew that there was still a lot to learn, but I also knew that I was on the right path. The breakthrough moment gave me the motivation to keep going. It gave me the belief that, with practice, I could achieve even more. If you are still working on your English, I want you to remember this. You can have your own breakthrough moment too. It might take time, but if you keep practicing every day, you will see results. Don't give up when things feel difficult. Keep going, and one day, you will look back and be amazed at how much you have learned. Your breakthrough moment is waiting for you, and it's closer than you think. I want you to believe in yourself and your ability to learn English. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep learning. Your hard work will pay off. Just like I did, you will experience that amazing moment when everything clicks, and you'll realize that you've made incredible progress. Keep going, and the best is yet to come. In the first month, your goal is to get comfortable with English and build your foundation. It's all about listening, speaking, and learning new words. Start by listening to English for 30 minutes every day. You can listen to podcasts, audiobooks, or YouTube videos. Choose something you enjoy, like a topic or story that interests you. Listening to English helps you get used to the sounds and rhythm of the language. It also helps improve your listening skills and makes you more familiar with how English is spoken. Every day, speak to yourself for 15 minutes. This might feel a little strange at first, but it really helps. You can talk about your day, your plans, or even your breakfast. Just speak in English, even if it's simple. The goal is to get used to thinking and speaking in English. For example, in the morning you can say, "I am going to work today. I have a meeting at 10 a.m. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. What's important is that you practice every day. Each day, learn 10 new words and try to use them in your speaking practice. You can make a list of these words and write them in a notebook. Then, use them in simple sentences like, "I love eating pizza," or "The weather is sunny today." It's important to keep practicing these new words so you can remember them. By the end of the month, you will have learned 300 new words, which will help you a lot in your speaking and understanding. Now that you have built your base, it's time to practice with others. This month, you will focus on speaking more with people and watching English without subtitles. In the second month, join a language exchange app or find an online group where you can speak with other English learners or native speakers. Apps like HelloTalk or Tandem are great places to start. You can talk to people from around the world who want to learn your language, and you can help each other. Start by chatting for 10 to 15 minutes a day. As you get more comfortable, you can increase the time. Try to speak with someone in English for 20 to 30 minutes each day. Don't worry if you make mistakes. The goal is to get used to speaking and to practice your listening skills. You can start by talking about simple topics, like your hobbies or your family. You might feel nervous at first, but remember, every conversation is a chance to learn and improve. Another way to improve your listening skills is by watching English TV shows or movies without subtitles. At first, you might not understand everything, and that's okay. The important thing is to try to understand the main idea. For example, if you are watching a movie, try to understand the emotions or actions of the characters. You can also watch shows that you like, which will make it more fun. Over time, you will start to understand more and more. In the 3rd month, the goal is to think in English as much as possible. By this time, you will be speaking and understanding English better, so now it's time to focus on using English in your daily life. Start writing a short diary in English every day. Write 5 to 10 sentences about your day, what you did, how you felt, or what you're planning to do. This will help you practice thinking in English. Writing helps you organize your thoughts in English and makes you more comfortable with grammar and vocabulary. Don't worry about making mistakes. Just focus on writing and expressing your thoughts. Shadowing means listening to a speaker and repeating exactly what they say. This helps you improve your pronunciation and speaking fluency. Find short English videos or podcasts that you enjoy. After you listen, pause the video and repeat what the speaker said. Try to copy their tone, speed, and pronunciation. This practice will help you sound more natural when you speak. One of the biggest challenges when learning a new language is the habit of translating from your native language into English. During the 3rd month, try to think directly in English instead of translating. For example, if you want to say, "I am hungry," don't think, "I am hungry in my language," and then translate. Just think, "I am hungry." The more you practice thinking in English, the easier it will become, and the faster you will speak. By following this simple 3-month plan, you will be amazed at how much your English improves. It's important to stay consistent and keep practicing every day. Even on days when you feel tired or discouraged, remember that every small step counts. Over time, you will start to see big changes in your speaking, listening, and understanding of English. Take it 1 month at a time, and don't forget to enjoy the process. Learning a new language is a journey, and it's okay to make mistakes along the way. The most important thing is to keep practicing, keep learning, and keep speaking. You are capable of achieving your goals, and with this plan, you will be speaking English confidently in no time. Keep going, and good luck on your English learning journey. My dear students, speaking English in 3 months is possible if you practice a little every day. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Remember, every small step you take brings you closer to your goal. So start today. Make your small plan, follow it every day, and watch your English grow. I believe in you. Thank you for joining me today at English Mastery Hub. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this lesson with your friends. See you next time, and happy learning!